be calling the game on Sunday, and the Cowboys take on the Ravens. And chat me up real quick. What do the Cowboys need to do to secure this win?
Well, I'm not gonna go with anything like X's and O's. What they need to do to try to secure this win is toughness.
I tell you what I don't want to hear. What I don't want to hear again, if they lose, I keep hearing this word effort. Effort. I heard that a lot in this Saints loss. There was no effort. If I come back another week and hear there's no effort, that means that the team is quitting.
It's kind of what it was. Wasn't no effort. Listen. The bottom line is, you seen this all on the national media, and you seeing this from the local media. This game to me look exactly like the Green Bay game. Team jumped right down their throats, and the Cowboys couldn't respond. The stress was put on the offense, and instead of getting touchdowns, they were kicking field goals. And on the other side, the opposing offense was getting touchdowns, and the game was over at halftime. And the reason why people saying the effort or toughness wasn't there, because when people are questioning you tackling people, guys just going, and you see it on the film, then that's an issue. You have to listen. We talked about this in the post game. Are the Cowboys front runners? When everything is going great, they're good. I mean, they're good. When it's going downhill, when they're going downhill, nobody can stop them. But the moment some adversity happens, the moment may have to go up a hill, the last few games, including the playoff game, they haven't responded well. I mean, it's gotten worse. So when I say I want to see toughness, I want to see tough because I guarantee you this. That John Harbaugh team coming in, they're 0-2. The desperate team theory. They're going to pull everything they can out because they don't want to go 0-3. And I'm telling you right now, Walt, you may not believe it, but I know what we talked about early 2 weeks ago with Derrick Henry, with John Harbaugh. He's saying, well, we didn't bring him here to carry the ball 30 times. He's going to get it 30 times this week. Because what the film showed him and what the film showed all of us is that the Cowboys did not want to tackle any running backs or tackle any ball carriers. Surprising having to sit up here, and now you got to sit up there and try to tackle a 250-pound man over and over again. We're going to see the Cowboys hard if they have any, because they're going to see a lot. And I'm guaranteeing this now. They're going to see a lot of Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's going to get 25 to 30 touches in this game.
Yes.
And also,
I'll tell you what, Kendrick, if they run to the left on the Cowboys, they're gonna have a field day. They run to the right, we got a chance.
There's nothing on that left. That's what do you say? Strong side, weak side. There's no side on that left. There's nothing on that left. So, and also, like I said before, we're looking at Shaheed, what he did to the Cowboys last week with the big plays, the big chunk plays. That's right up Zay Flowers' alley. Zay Flowers is one of the best deep ball receivers in the game. That's what he does. Goes deep, stretches, put pressure on the defense, stresses the defense up top. So that's another weapon the Cowboys going to have to try to contain. If Zay Flowers is sitting up there with I say 10 catches for a $30 touchdown, that was probably losing this game. Because that means he done popped off a couple big ones. And we know the Cowboys, as of last week, they gave up a lot of big plays. And that is a big play receiver in Zay Flowers, who anytime he touches the ball, whether it's receiving, whether it's reverses, whether it's coming out the backfield, whether it's screens himself, he can take it to the house at any time he touches the ball. So they got to be aware of that.
Yeah. You also got to worry about the Lamar Jackson aspect of it too, because now it's being reported that DeMario Overshawn is going to be the spy on Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about that? How you feel about something like that?
Well, I'm glad. Actually, if you look back at, he wasn't starting. He was just playing. He was playing mostly in the nickel, which most of these teams play passing offense a lot. But he wasn't starting. So it's good to see him going to get more action. He's probably the most athletic.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong here, did he not play a lot the last game?
He didn't really play a lot. I don't know. Maybe it was scheme. Maybe some Zimmer thought, but he thought wrong. But listen, he's the most athletic linebacker.
This guy
they have on the team. So it's great to see him get a nod to get play, because they're gonna need a spot for Lamar Jackson, because we know, well, anytime Lamar Jackson has the ball, he has the capability of pulling it down and picking up 30, 40, 50, maybe a 70-yard, and he's got that kind of talent in him. He's the most athletic quarterback, I feel, in the NFL. He's basically another running back there that can throw the ball. He's not good as throwing he is running, but I'm saying the Cowboys, when things break down, when a scramble drill is going on, you're gonna have to have a spot, and also those design runs that Baltimore loves to use when they use them with those read options, with those quarterback draws. So yeah, they're gonna have to spy on him at all times, because if you don't, it will be a long night for the Dallas Cowboys. A long afternoon,
I mean. Well, we have some interviews here. I don't know if this is after practice today or what, but we definitely have some interviews that we want to get to. We can start with CeeDee. His is the shortest. Let's go to CeeDee real quick and hear what he had to say about, I guess, today's Sunday's matchup.
Okay.
Let's go to CeeDee real quick.
I hope I don't get doubled. I did.
Okay, here's CeeDee.
First, how's the ankle? We saw you pop up an injury report. Ankle.
Yeah, ankle's cool. It was sore yesterday, so took the day off.
CeeDee, what are some things that pops out on tape about this Baltimore Ravens secondary?
Man, them boys physical, big and tall. Obviously, you got guys like Kyle Hamilton, you got Marlon, Eddie Jackson. You got a lot of experience, guys who know what they're doing back there, and they play well together.
It's only 2 games, but does this start remind you a little bit of where the offense was early last season, kind of some of the issues you just needed to smooth out and you got better as the season went along?
Last year is last year for sure, but I will say throughout the year, we do have a tendency of getting better. We set the bar for ourselves, obviously, see how we compete versus other people, and then, we make adjustments. But I will say we can definitely look forward to making more adjustments this year.
What's the urgency level after not only the way you got beat, but the way you played?
I mean, we lost, regardless of how you put it. The urgency has always been there. It's not so much antsy and everybody scrambling around here. No, that's not the thing. But we get it that we had a pretty bad performance and things that were in our control, that we could have, made better decisions here or there. But obviously we know the situation at hand. We got to capitalize.
CeeDee, we're seeing a lot more too high in the NFL these days than last year too.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, and how is an offense?
You got too many nice receivers. Point blank period. Too many nice receivers. Plenty of ways of disguising. And your skill position is different ways of getting guys open. So obviously you want to stop that. Had a run going on, get the run going a little bit, and if you can't stop the run, then you're just going to keep out of the ball.
CeeDee, Micah talked yesterday about how he felt there was a lack of effort by certain players last Sunday. What's the accountability process you see inside the locker?
I mean, we all grown men and we all professionals. We all know what we were lacking, where, what area, and then what happened with what were the repercussions for us lacking in that situation. So, everybody holds themselves to a higher standard. And then, everybody falls guilty for letting the play go, if you will. But last week it was put on display, I mean, everybody that did got exposed, so they had their way with us, and it's all on how we're going to bounce back.
Any talk about reestablishing your home field dominance is one thing that was
Man, we
big
lost. We
years.
lost 2 games at home in how many years? You know how many years?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, you had 16-game home winning streak.
All right, we'll be perfectly fine. We'll be perfectly fine.
Okay.
How is your connection with Dak? I think there was some miscommunication that was discussed on that one missed throw.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of going over training camp things, training camp rules, things that we could have X'd out a long time ago. But obviously having those conversations are always great conversations. And that's going to be the first thing that I go to as soon as we get on the sideline. Completion, like what were you thinking, what were you feeling, what do you think I was doing? It's all about getting on the same page as your quarterback, as being a receiver. So for me, it's just making sure that I'm available for him, and whatever I got to do to be open, I'm going to do that. And whatever I got to do to get the reception, get us on the board, I'm going to do that.
Okay, Kendrick, so you hear CeeDee right there. He said last year's last year, and I like what he just said there at the end. Basically, if I'm out there, what do I need to do better? What are you seeing? I guess he's saying that the communication between him and Dak, I guess is what he was speaking on. Do you feel like they have a communication problem? Do you feel like they need to get get better at communicating?
No, that's not a communication problem. They've been playing with each other. They've been playing with each other for what? Last 4 years. They know what each other like. The problem is that CeeDee has no help. That's the problem. Remember, Fergie was out, so that's the second best receiver. Brandon Cooks talked about this in the post game. On Tuesday, Brandon Cooks seemed to be a shell of himself. He was brought in to take the top off the defense. I saw him in that. I went back and watched that game. They wasn't scared of him going deep. They basically playing him one-on-one, and he wasn't getting by nobody. Jalen Tolbert, nice little receiver, but he's not built. I don't think right now he's built for the position or the time, or let's just say for the moment he's been supposed to be having. He's not built for it as of yet. He's still not quite ready yet for that prime time, that much kind of prime time. And so it's just CeeDee. It's CeeDee or nothing. He's their best offensive weapon, and teams know that, and teams will double him. He talked about the secondary for the Ravens. Marlon Humphrey, ex Crimson Tide, Brandon Stevens. All these guys are big and physical. So some of these guys are bigger than CeeDee. So this is a big physical secondary. They love to put your hands on you. They love to reroute you. They would at some points in time they would get a 5-yard penalty for illegal hands or maybe defensive hold. They'll give that away, but they love to play physical. They love to put their hands on you. Love to maul you. So the Cowboys gonna have to find ways to move him around, get him in the slot, get him on some mismatches, not just having him line up on the outside. Give him some touches, maybe in some reverse or stuff like that, because he's going to have to touch. We talked about this, and Tobias disagreed with me, but I think I'm kind of proving right on this. With Fergie out, and I don't know
Fergie's probably gonna play. He practiced this week.
Okay,
yep.
Well, that's good. So, but even with him in, for the Cowboys to be successful, he's got to touch the ball. He's got to have at least about 15 touches, because I don't know if anybody in that receiving room is good enough anymore or has the experience to be a guy that can go off for maybe 8 for 88 or maybe 7 for 100. I don't think nobody in that receiving room is good enough other than CeeDee Lamb. So he's got to get at least about 15 touches, whether it's receiving or whether it's reverses or whether it's toss pitches in the backfield just to get his hands on the ball, because he has to have that many touches for this team to be successful. And also mix that in. It's good to see, I guess, Fergie back. That's a big help, because
we would hope now, wouldn't we?
We would hope. We talked about this on the way home. Well, it's CeeDee, Fergie, and a bunch of other dudes out there. And when one of those two guys are out, you see it. So hopefully he's back. You say he practiced today. That's on Thursday, so that's a good sign. Getting him back in there, they need him, and but so that'll help take the pressure off of CeeDee. But I agree with it. He's got to have at least about, I'm not saying 15 catches. He's got to at least have about 15 touches for this team to be successful, because it's a difference between him, Fergie, and then everybody else. It's just a difference. Nobody's scared. Everybody else other than Fergie and CeeDee, and that goes for the running backs too. Nobody other than them two. Nobody on that defense is scared of those other guys on there. They think they can control them with one-on-ones or with the coverage. Nobody else is scared. There's only two guys that garnish teams ire, and that is CeeDee and Fergie. When one of those guys are out, like we saw this past Sunday, it shows.
What about the running game, Kendrick?
There is no running game.
I know that.
There is no running game.
What running game?
What run? I mean, well, apparently the owner seems to think that the running back room is all right. I don't know if he fell asleep during the first 2 weeks, but yeah, all right. Listen, we know what it is. The Cowboys dropped the ball on this a couple years ago. Not drafting a running back last season. They drafted Deuce Vaughn the year before, but he's a scat back. He's not a guy going to carry the ball 15 to 20 times or have 5 catches on. He's just not built for that. He's not a good run blocker. He's not a guy that's going to sit up and go between the tackles over and over again. He's not built for that. And listen, all the Zeke lovers, and I know some people on my social media love to call me a Zeke hater. I'm not a Zeke hater. I just know.
I'm shocked that you getting hate from people as much as you pander to the crowd out here.
No, I'm not a Zeke hater. I'm just a realist. Zeke is an old running back.
You're a pander.
I'm not a pander. Zeke is an old running back. He was finished when he left here a couple years ago, and for the God of me, everybody, including some of my co-stars on this show, we won't name names, kept pandering last season about, well, Zeke was there. No, he's done. He literally is done.
That was for blocking purposes, though.
Man, listen. You don't bring back no guy for blocking. You got a fullback.
Well, no,
you got fullbacks for.
The reason why we wanted Zeke back was because of the 1-2 combination of him and Tony Pollard.
But that was done. Remember, I said a couple years ago, not only you should have got rid of Zeke, you should have got rid of Tony Pollard right behind him, because he had that bad devastating injury in the playoff game a couple years ago. Against
we should have been done with him when he broke his ankle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you should have went off for both of them. But the fact of the matter is,
with Tony Pollard when he got fetched on that 60-yard run.
What I'm gonna say, he was done. His speed was gone because that was a devastating injury. And also we got Rico down. God bless him, but he's not a starting running. He's not a starting running back in this league.
That experiment is over quicker than
you saw Deuce Vaughn in there early.
I've seen Deuce Vaughn in 2 games. I've seen Deuce Vaughn more now than I've seen him in the preseason.
You knew that something went bad. So that running back room is shot. I don't know how you fix it doing a trade or something, but they got problems in that running back. They can't run the ball. And that puts more pressure on Dak Prescott to have to make plays with his arm. We heard what my compadre with Walt Chisholm said. Dak has a 40 pitch count rule. Nothing 30, over 30 pitch count. Well, with this running game, he's going to supersede that every game.
35.
Well, if this running game don't get better, he's going to supersede that every game, because for that to happen, you have to have some balance. And they have no balance in the running game because they can't run the football, because they have no running backs that can tote that rock. Either they don't have it or they're well past their prime and over the hill. That's just is what it is. Unless they make a trade, and like I said before, Walt, Tuesday. Anybody sitting up there waiting for Dalvin Cook to say, keep dreaming. He's just as washed as Zeke is. So no help's coming. No help's coming. I'm so sorry.
Help is not on the way in any shape or form.
In any shape or form.
Well, we got Micha Parsons. He did some talk. You want to hear from Micha?
Yeah, sure. Oh, he does a lot of talking, especially on his podcast.
It's good to hear from. It's good to actually hear from him, not on that podcast. Other than that,
just give it a couple of days. He'll be on there again.
But now to a game like that, going into Baltimore, which runs the ball as well as they do.
Yeah, I think the mentality is to bounce back, stop this run, and show people that you can stop the run. I think it's definitely a prove a game when you get a game like this back to back. I definitely think so. I think they're coming in with some heavy redemption on a couple games they shouldn't have lost and tight ones, and we got to come back from that mind-boggling loss we had at home. So it's gonna be a great battle.
Was it effort or scheme? Why did y'all struggle so badly?
I think it was effort and technique. I think some of the stuff that was on film, I don't know if y'all got all 22. Y'all tell me what y'all saw. You know what I'm saying? So it's not much for me to hit on at this point because we got Baltimore, but you could go watch the all 22 and you saw the same thing I saw. So
Mike talked about y'all. They beating y'all to the punch and also finishing better. I mean, isn't that a pride thing to a certain extent?
Yeah, man. At some point, all 11 got to have the same mindset, and that's just toughness, right? You talk about who you want to be and all this other stuff, but you got to go out there and be it. And it can't just be one guy. It can't be two guys. It's all 11 guys. It takes everyone because I affect the linebackers affect the DBs. So if we all aren't synchronized and, one group's getting effed up and another group's going to get effed up, it's a synchronized change. So at the end of the day, it's all about toughness and having mentality like I'm going to dominate the man in front of me, and not all 11 had that last week.
When you think about the power of Henry and then obviously the crazy speed of Lamar, and they're both out there together, how much of a challenge is that, and how can you guys stop that?
Yeah, I think, like I just said, toughness. Step up. It ain't no other choice. Derrick Henry going to come downhill whether or not Sunday night, so it's not like a matter of, are you going to stop it? Is you going to do it or not? I know I'm ready for the matchup. I know some other guys in the matchup, but, it's just all going to come down to Sunday if you're going to live up to that or not.
Zimmer took.
Wait. Hold on. I think we had another good question here. Hold on. I'm going to go back to this real quick.
What did the players say about that?
Zim said he was going to do that, but, I still stand by him and said it was on us. I take accountability on me if I didn't get the, if my teammates feel like they weren't prepared for the game. Because at the end of the day, right, we come in, Zim tells us what we're going to do. Zim says, is everyone okay with it? And we all say we're okay, then Zim's going to go with it. But if we all, because we're all on the same page, right? Coach not just going to throw stuff out there. Now if we get out to Thursday, Friday practice, everyone's doing the games, everyone's doing the plays, and we're all living up to expectation of the call sheet that's on us, right? And then we get into the game and he calls them same calls. That's on us, right? Because nothing's changed. Everything's put in already. It's what's going to be called, and we all agreed to it. We didn't tell them to take anything out. So at the end of the day, that's on us for not executing it. It's nothing to do with the play calls, Coaches get a lot of backlash. Sometimes, and like I said, the reality is, it's the NFL. You're going to get caught in a bad play call here and there. Like, they're going to have a beater for it. But I think overall, that was just down-nose football. There ain't no scheme or no that was going to construct of what happened to us on Sunday.
You talk about.
Okay. Like I said back when we started this segment, Kendrick, I kept hearing the word effort. And she'll ask him about it again in this deal. We can't be questioning the team's effort in week 2. That's not a good look. There's no effort. That's a bad word to use in week 2, saying they got no effort. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Kendrick. Hold on. There you go.
Oh, hold on, I hear you. But let's understand, I did not listen. I have not looked at Michael Parsons' interview, anytime, at any point today, so this is the first time I'm hearing it, and he said the exact same thing I just said just about 15 minutes ago. Toughness. That came out of his mouth numerous times, 5 or 6 times. Toughness. The team's toughness. It's not just me saying that, because you're saying that. That's the player was saying that, questioning the toughness of the team. What are we doing? I mean, Derrick Henry, just got a quote that we know Derrick Henry's coming downhill. Are we man enough or built enough to stop it? We know it's coming. Are we built enough to stop it? Are we all tough, or some of us tough on this team? We're gonna find out on Sunday. It ain't about scheme. It's about beating your man. That's his words. So not only he put his defense on blast, he kind of put himself on blast, being a team leader that he says he wants to be. It's on him. He's got to get himself, because let's face facts. Michael, you got your butt whipped last week. I mean, you got whipped. I mean, hey, start with yourself, because you got dominated. You got dominated so badly they had to take you out of some points in that game in the second half. You were breathing hard, looking up in the sky, hands on knees. I mean,
how many team meetings did they have on the sideline?
Yeah, he called at least about 3 himself. But about 7 meetings.
Yeah,
they had about 5 in the first before midway through the second quarter. They had five team meetings on the defense side alone. But the fact of the matter is, I just saw this. But when you got a player talking about toughness, and Walt, you talked about effort in week 2, we're gonna see, because this is how it's gonna boil down to. It's a desperation game for the Baltimore Ravens, but he just said it. It's a prove it game for the Cowboys. A lot of people calling y'all soft. If you look at the national media, they call y'all soft. They call, you should hear Stephen A. Smith on Monday what he was going on about. All the national pundits calling you soft, calling you ain't got no heart. So you too scared. I heard one word, scared, come out of national pundits' mouth. The word scared. So y'all got a prove it game on special and defense. So we're gonna see, because it's gonna be desperate. It's gonna be 2 teams coming out to try to prove a point. We just gonna find out who proves the point the most on that game. I'm gonna say this. It's a must. I'm gonna say it's a must-win game for the Ravens. They gotta win. I don't know if it's a must-win game for the Cowboys because of the division they in, but it's a prove-it game. You need to prove that teams is not gonna run you over like the Saints did. And let's face it, while we talked about this, if the Saints really wanted to, if they really wanted to they could have put over 50 points on the Cowboys. They could have did it easily, and they could have did it before the fourth quarter started. So let's look at it.
This is very true. But like I said, must win. It is a redemption game. Must win. I'll tell you this. This will be 3. Technically, if they lose on Sunday, this will be 3 games they've lost at home, including the Packers last season.
No, if the must win comes next 7 days from now, it's a must win. A division game on Thursday night. We're gonna talk about that, where we're gonna be in the middle.
They'll win. They'll win that game. They'll win that game. That's no problem.
No, you say, but that's still a must win, because you're supposed to win that game. But I'm not counting this as a must win. It's a prove it game to prove that, hey, you got the heart to stand up to these teams, because you know it's coming. You know Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, they're going to be trying to run the football. They're going to be trying to establish toughness. We know that's the Baltimore forte, to be one of the toughest teams, if not the toughest team in the NFL. So they're going to be try to establish on both sides of the ball. It's up to the Cowboys. We see the same time of bite back from them.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But to me, they can't afford to lose. That's two home game losses back to back? When have the Cowboys lost 2 home games back to back? When have the Cowboys lost 2 games back to back in a while?
Oh, well, it was last season. It was last season.
We had like a home we had a home winning streak for so long, and now
if you talking about home game, I think you're talking about back to back games. They lost against the Bills and the Dolphins back to back.
No, I'm talking about like back to back at home.
No, that may have been maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Right. So here we are in the same predicament again. I mean, they don't do that, and they're on the brink of having it happen.
But it's not the fact, in my opinion, that they're losing, because you face. I mean, we didn't know.
What is this team's identity? What is this team's identity?
Yeah, but it's not the fact that it's how you're losing. They got embarrassed, but in these games at home, they got embarrassed by the Packers. That was embarrassing. The owner said that. That was embarrassing. Last week, the players said that. That was embarrassed at the effort of what they put out there. So, like I said, in my opinion, if the Baltimore Ravens beat you this Sunday, it doesn't prove that the season over your bad football team. Because remember, a lot of people picked the Baltimore Ravens to be the representatives in the AFC in the Super Bowl this season. A lot of people did. So if you lose by field goal or they stop you on the drive, it's just that you can't have what happened in these last 2 games against the Packers and the Saints, where you just getting excuse my French. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you one way to win this football game. Make Lamar Jackson throw the football, because he cannot throw. He's not accurate passer.
Well, like I said, yeah, they're not. So that's why I say they're gonna look to establish the run, and off that run, they're gonna try to establish it and run play action off of that, and go to Zay Flowers and their Pro Bowl tight end. That's how they're gonna throw the ball. It's up to the Cowboys. They got to stop the run. If the Cowboys can stop the run on 1st and 2nd down and put Baltimore in 3rd and long and distance, they can get off the field. If the Baltimore Ravens are at 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 5 or 3rd and 3, it's going to be a long night. That means the Baltimore Ravens are successful running the football. So if the Cowboys can get them in long and distance on 3rd down, advantage Cowboys, because they can do the pass rush. If it's 3rd and 3 or 2nd and 2, advantage Ravens, because the whole playbook's open for them to do anything they want, run or pass.
Right. They need to force Lamar Jackson to pass the ball. He's just not. People get on me all the time because they love Lamar Jackson. He makes spectacular plays with his feet and everything like that, and he does. But he's not an accurate passer to me. And if they can make him pass the ball instead of running, that'd be really great. He's got supposedly Derrick Henry's ball here to help him to stop running and make him a pocket passer. That is exactly what you want Lamar Jackson to be, a pocket passer. He cannot throw accurately.
Sure.
That's exactly what you need. We do have one more interview. We got Dak Prescott doing some talking. I know you want to hear from him.
Let's hear from the $60 million man. Like
QB1, as we like to call him. Well, yeah, the $60 million man. Hold on, let's go to Dak.
He was throwing some shots last week.
Your relationship with Jackson for years, or what you think of his game, and both of you being the top 2 in MVP last year. Just kind of describe your relationship and peers. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, hell of a player. Always admire his game, what he can do, his talents. Amazing with the ball in his hands, hell of a thrower. Obviously, I've watched him, been a fan of him since he was at Louisville. So I mean, he's continuing to build on a great career. 2 MVPs. Just continue to say elite player and understand. For me, it's about understanding the quarterback on the other side, what he's capable of doing, making sure that our offense is firing, and putting pressure on them rather than just letting them go and run an offense at will.
Have you had much of a chance to talk to him, or much of a relationship with him, and things you come across? Or?
No, not necessarily. I actually hosted Lamar back in college on a visit Mississippi State, and that was pretty much it. I mean, both I've got a lot going on, so can't say that we've connected since.
What's the mindset in the locker room this week? I know it's week 2, but there's a sense of urgency, added sense of urgency because of the last 2 times how y'all looked at home.
I mean, I think anytime you get out there, you should prep with a sense of urgency. You should understand this is your job, and nobody wants to, as you said, to lose at home in general. Damn sure not put 2 back-to-back losses to start a season off at home. It's important us to get back in the win column. I understand it's a long season, and this is a good team to do that against. I understand they haven't got a win, and they're going to come in hungry. We've got to make sure that we're focused, locked in, and on all of our details on all 3 phases of this game.
How does Coach McCarthy help toward that end and get everyone focused on the task at hand?
Yeah, I mean, simple, just his messaging. On simple about responding, staying when your feet are, being present, and the task at the hand. We can't sit there. We're not going to sit back and even worry about last week, really. We grew from it. We've learned from it, moved on from the film. Now it's about taking care of a great team that's coming in.
What's the value of leadership council in a situation like this?
As in?
Don't you have a leadership council that met this week?
Value of, yeah, what do you mean?
Mike was just talking about it. I mean, what can that do in terms of sending the right messages out to the locker room?
We've just got to go out there and play our best. I mean, it's week 3. I mentioned it after the game to you guys, right? It's about a process, and we can't get overwhelmed. We can't get overwhelmed in what people are writing about us. It's simply a process that we've got to focus on getting better each and every day with the right attitude that we come in here and understand that we're trying to put the best versions of ourselves on the field each and every Sunday, regardless of what's happened the last Sunday. It's the NFL.
You talk about it was a tough game and everything. What part do you take the most joy in weeks like this, in the ability to respond and things like that?
This game brings me a lot of joy, honestly. Anytime that I'm out there on the practice field, the commitment to the preparation that I have, that the guys that have, the shared commitment, it's the ultimate team sport, and you've got to make sure that you're doing your part and helping each other to do their part, playing complementary ball, being there for a teammate maybe in his preparation if he needs it.
Okay, Kendrick, coming back. Tapping on, yeah, I know he says you got to put last week behind you. It's hard to kind of put last week behind us because I know, it's a week-to-week league, but what we saw last week was alarming to us. It was very alarming to a lot of people.
And listen, Dak can say all he wants, but it was alarming to them too that they just got handled, and they got handled last week. So I know that's football speak. That's player speak. That's coach speak. Yada yada yada. You got to go week to week and all like that. Yeah, but it was alarming. You can't. It's not the fact that you lost. It's the fact that game was over basically before halftime. It was 35 to what, 13 at the half.
What we're concerned with is that we don't want to see what we saw last week into this week's game against a MVP quarterback.
Yeah,
that can really dice you up himself.
Yeah, and it was like and like I said, I talked about this. It's a tale of 2 different teams. It's a must win for the Ravens, but it's a prove it game to the Cowboys. You got to prove that you actually want this, man. People are calling you soft. People are calling you scared. There's some national pundits actually use the S word other than soft. The other S word called scared. So you got to prove you got some kind of mental or physical toughness out there. I saw some guys that were resigned at halftime to thinking, yeah, this game's the Saints, so I'm just gonna go out there and half-ass it out there and not do much. The film don't lie. You can't lie to film. You just Micha Parsons just basically said we're gonna find out some guys actually want this. So I understand the player speak. Dak's good at that, but you can't fool anybody. That was alarming. It was alarming to him that in back-to-back home games, in critical games. I'm not saying week 2, but this was the first game back when you had that debacle against Green Bay. You had 2 straight games where you just run off your own field. So now you got a 3rd straight game to prove it. That you can get all the ducks in a row, and it's a pressure situation. Even though it is week 3, you don't want to. You like to. I always say this, Bob. You like to messages are sent either way. You can either send good messages, or you can send bad messages. That's either to yourself or to anybody else. And right now, the Cowboys have a chance to send themselves and to the rest of the league a good message, or they can send themselves and the rest of the league another bad message. Is when they get hit in the mouth, they pack up their tent and say bye. We done for the day. We'll see. We'll see on Sunday.
Yeah. I have the Cowboys winning, just because the Cowboys usually, when they lose games like this, they usually come back and they play hard. They play hard the next game, and they give you the best. They give you their all, and they make up for it. Cowboys don't really use back-to-back. Damn, Walt, you still don't? No, we're not on Facebook anymore. We ended that partnership, Big Watt. We appreciate the money Facebook was giving us, but Facebook was trying to hold us down and hold us back, so we had to move on. But yeah, I got the Cowboys winning on Sunday, just because the Cowboys don't lose back-to-back games.
It's interesting. It's very interesting, man. Listen, say it again. I said it a whole bunch of times. Say it again. You got the desperate team versus the prove it. You got to prove it team.
Both teams are actually desperate.
Yeah, this would be an easier game to pick if the Ravens went 0-2. I'm still undecided. You probably get to me back on Sunday. I'm still trying to understand.
We got another segment where you got to make game picks.
Really? I thought that's for the rest of the league.
No, we got the Cowboys as the last team. What are you saying?
All right, yeah, get back to me, Ben. I'm still listen, man. I will be in the Cowboys corner if the Ravens went 0-2, because I know John Harbaugh that listen.
Oh yeah, he's a smart coach. He's the one who said that they're not gonna run Derrick Henry 30 times a game.
I think you're gonna see that this week, but but I'll let you know at the end. We do picks. I'll let you know, but it's tough, man.
Well, in the event, you can join us live this Sunday. We'll be in studio, of course, but you can tune in to us live this Sunday. As we will have the pre-halftime and post-game. Shout out to our sponsor, Berry Best Barbecue, for helping us out there. But yeah, we're gonna be live this Sunday in studio. But I can't confirm that this next Thursday we will be at Berry Best Barbecue out in Haltom City. We're coming to see you, Tarrant County, Fort Worth 817, North Richland Hills, all that around there, all surrounding White Settlement, all of that surrounding area. We're coming to see you next Thursday night for the Cowboys and the Giants, but we'll be in studio live for the pre-halftime post-game show this Sunday, as we were at a tailgate last Sunday, but we'll be in studio this Sunday. What's the game at 3:25? We'll get